Chapter 104, The Life and Death Platform. This chapter is updated by Novels.pl. The Life and Death Platform was a 30-meter high, 30-meter squared white stone platform. It was made of huge polished smooth stones which weighed about 5,000 kilograms each. There were lots of sharp iron thorns under the Life and Death Platform. Each thorn was 2 meters long, some of them blood-stained on the point. If a warrior fell from the Life and Death Platform, he would either die from falling or being stabbed by the iron thorns. Once a warrior went up to the Life and Death Platform, he would end up with either a victory or a death. There was no escape. Feng Xilen was so confident in his power that he had already walked up to the Life and Death Platform. He stood straight in the center of the Life and Death Platform, seeming quite handsome. He looked around, flashing his brilliant smile at the beautiful female students. He was assured to win this battle. Ninth brother, you must be careful. Zhang Shaxu held Zhang Yuochen's hands tightly with worry in his eyes. Zhang Yuochen smiled and said, no big deal, it's just Feng Xilen. Zhang Yuochen. Ziqian walked out of the crowd of students, wearing a white robe. The belt around her slender waist emphasized her graceful posture. The surrounding students intently stared at her. They were surprised there was such a beautiful girl among the Yunwu Commandery students. She was as beautiful as the 3 she-devils. They couldn't help giving way to Ziqian. She was surrounded by the crowd as if the moon was surrounded by the stars. Ziqian walked to Zhang Yuochen and stared at him, showing no emotion, and said, I also took part in killing Feng Zi. Let me fight Feng Xilen for you. Zhang Yuochen looked at Ziqian and had a strange feeling. Have you reached the Black Realm's medium state? Zhang Yuochen's eyes brightened up. Ziqian nodded. Yes, I have. Zhang Yuochen was not surprised. After all, Ziqian had saint's blood. With her 2,000 points merit, she could totally afford to get a lot of the superior level practice resources at the Martial Markets School. With her talent and the vast amount of the practice resources, it seemed plausible she would break through to the Black Realm's medium state in just 1 month. Be mindful that Zhang Yuochen merely ate the spiritual brawn and devoted all his time to practice his martial technique instead of his skills. But he also broke through the realm in less than 2 months. Both Zhang Yuochen and Ziqian's biggest advantages were endless practice resources. Congratulations. Zhang Yuochen continued, but I've already made a deal with Feng Xilen to fight on the Life and Death Platform. You're too late. You can fight him next time. A strange light flashed in Ziqian's eyes. She said, Zhang Yuochen, can you beat Feng Xilen? It's simple. Zhang Yuochen smiled. Hearing Zhang Yuochen's words, the square commandery warriors near him all scolded in silence. Such an arrogant jerk. Let's wait and see. Zhang Yuochen thought that he was the best warrior after defeating Nixuan, Wang Lang, and King Haitian, but he didn't know that none of them could withstand Feng Xilen's one movement. Zhang Yuochen will regret it after he is on the Life and Death Platform. In the distance, Eldixi was a little worried when he saw Zhang Yuochen walking to the Life and Death Platform step by step. He was about to chase Zhang Yuochen and stop him. It would be too late to do anything if Zhang Yuochen got to the Life and Death Platform. At this moment, a silver shadow flashed past Eldixi and put its palm on his shoulder. Elder Situ, what are you doing? Eldixi asked angrily. There was coldness in his eyes. Elder Situ still put his palm on Eldixi's shoulder, trying to stop him from chasing Zhang Yuochen. He smiled. Don't worry, Eldixi. Leave the fight to the young. There's no need for you to interfere. Seeing Zhang Yuochen reach the Life and Death Platform from afar, Eldixi became even more worried. He said, don't you know that Zhang Yuochen is the 4th genius in the Western Campus history who passed the 2nd barrier on the 3rd level of the Wu Tower? What a great loss for Western Campus if Feng Xilen kills him on the Life and Death Platform. The smile on Elder Situ's face faded. He sneered, he has a high talent, so what? He killed almost 100 candidates in the first round examination. That should be classified as a great loss for the Martial Markets School. Not Zhang Yuochen. He is so bloodthirsty at such a young age. How many more will he slay when he becomes stronger? The Martial Markets School doesn't need such genius. Eldixi asked, Elder Situ, did you witness Zhang Yuochen killing? Someone else did. Elder Situ seemed cold and said, what's more, Zhang Yuochen killed Feng Xilin's brother. Shouldn't Feng Xilin avenge his brother's death? Another presbyter came to stop Elder Situ and Elder Xi from getting into a quarrel. He said, "Elder Xi, we're merely the presbyters of the school. Teaching is our only responsibility. We'd better stay away from disputes between students. If the students depend on our presbyters to solve all their problems, it's harmful to them." Elder Situ laughed. Elder Huo is right. Since Zhang Yuochen is a genius, he needs more trials. If he fails to defeat Feng Xilin, he isn't meant to be the strong one. If it were another situation, maybe Elder Xi would have believed Elder Situ. But it was a certain death instead of a trial for Zhang Yuochen, as he was to fight Feng Xilin on the life and death platform now. At this moment, Zhang Yuochen was already on the platform, facing Feng Xilin. Elder Xi ground his teeth and glared at Elder Situ. Finally, he restrained himself. After all, Elder Situ's cultivation was higher than him and thus he had no chance to beat Elder Situ. Now he could only hope that Zhang Yuochen would make a narrow escape, although the chance was quite slim. Elder Situ watched Elder Xi walking to the grandstand swinging his sleeves, and cast him a sarcastic smile. He then turned his eyes to the life and death platform and smiled happier. He didn't care much about whether Zhang Yuochen was the top genius, as Zhang Yuochen was neither introduced to Western Campus by him nor his own disciple. If Zhang Yuochen died on the life and death platform, he only had himself to blame. "Thank you, Elder Situ." Prince Huoxing walked out from the darkness and bowed humbly to Elder Situ to show his respect. He then handed Elder Situ a purple and gold box, smiled, and said, "This is a heaven cloud pill, a present from my father, in hopes that it will help you upgrade your cultivation." Elder Situ took the purple and gold box and cracked it open a bit. A strong medicine scent emitted from it immediately. Elder Situ smiled a little and put away the box. Then he said, "Commandery Prince is too generous. It's no big deal." Prince Huoxing laughed. "Killing Zhang Yuochen is not a big deal for you. But for Square Commandery, it's a massive favor. Yunwu Commandery has already got to Jiang Tangai. If we let Zhang Yuochen live, in 10 years the Yunwu Commandery will be unstoppable in the Western 9 prefectures." Elder Situ said, "I'm one of the members of the Square Commandery. It's my duty to help my Commandery Prince eliminate potential threats. Since Zhang Yuochen has come to Western Campus, surely I won't let him grow up." Prince Huoxing nodded and gazed at the two on the life and death platform. He smiled. "Zhang Yuochen will no longer exist in Western Campus after tonight." Bang, bang. There were a series of explosions on top of the 16 copper pillars around the life and death platform. 16 fireballs started to burn in the braziers on top of the pillars to light the night. "I can't believe you have the nerve to walk up to the life and death platform." Feng Xilin stared at Zhang Yuochen and showed a cunning smile. It was definitely not a compliment. He was mocking Zhang Yuochen's stupidity. Zhang Yuochen stood straight with his hands behind his back. His robe was as white as snow. He laughed. "Say no more. Let's fight." Feng Xilin became cold and said, "Okay. Since you're so eager to die, I'll grant your wish." They simultaneously turned their eyes to the weapons rack at the edge of the life and death platform. There were 31 kinds of weapons on it, such as swords, knives, drums, spears, whips, lances, sticks, and so on. Warriors on the life and death platform were not allowed to use their own weapons. Only the weapons on the platform were allowed. It meant that the one who got the weapon first would have an advantage. Clash. Feng Xilin moved first. He rushed to the weapon rack like a white shadow. He desired the iron sword on the 3rd level of the rack and was about to take it. But he failed to grab it. Zhang Yuochen was standing next to him, holding the iron sword in his hand. He gently flicked the sword and said, "It's only a normal iron sword with no inscription in it, but its material seems good. Maybe there's true iron, so it won't be broken easily." Feng Xilin stared at Zhang Yuochen, who was close at hand, with surprise. He made the move before Zhang Yuochen just then. but Zhang Yuochen got the sword faster. What did it mean? It meant that Zhang Yuochen was faster than him. Boom. The students on the grandstand were all shocked by this. Is Zhang Yuochen even faster than Feng Zilin? No wonder he dares to go to the life and death platform. He's got real stuff. With such speed, Zhang Yuochen is almost unbeatable. Don't bet on it. Off the life and death platform, maybe Feng Zilin can't defeat him. But the platform is only 3 meters long. There isn't much space for Zhang Yuochen to evade even if he has a speed advantage. It won't be difficult for Feng Zilin to kill him. You all ignored the most important part. Zhang Yuochen's cultivation is much lower than Feng Zilin. His genuine chi is much less than Feng Zilin. No matter how fast he is, Feng Zilin can prolong the battle and get the final victory. Prince Huoxing said coldly. The other students thought that his words made sense and nodded. Ignorant people. Juan Muxingling shook her head slightly and turned her eyes to Huang Yanjun. She smiled and said, Sister Chen, you said yourself that if Zhang Yuochen could beat Feng Zilin, you would spare his life. Huang Yanjun gazed at the life and death platform's direction and said, we'll talk about it when he wins.